How's it going, everyone? My name is Destiny Element. Hope you guys are all doing well, and we are back with another Honkai Star Rail video for today. And today we are going to be updating the tier list on this channel. So yeah, we've been in 1.1 for a couple weeks now, and the last tier list video I uploaded was about a month and a half ago. So I feel like this update is slightly overdue. We're obviously going to be making some changes to this tier list. We're going to be adding in some new characters. We're going to be moving some characters around. If you guys are new to this channel and you guys haven't seen my first tier list video, I kind of basically said that a lot of characters that aren't viable right now or who aren't as viable, I feel like can become viable in the future with the introduction to new characters and new team comps. So I'm going to try my best to elaborate and share my thoughts and opinions on these characters and why I feel like they deserve the tier that they're in and why I put them there. So disclaimer, these are all my opinions. If you guys don't agree with it, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly normal. If you guys do have some thoughts that you want to share and some discussions, you guys can leave it in the comments section. I love reading the comments and interacting with you guys, but that's basically it. If you guys do enjoy the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me out. And yeah, let's get into the video. So getting into the tier list, the first thing I want to talk about is the double S rank tier. In my first tier list video, I didn't have that, but I decided to put it in for this tier list and for every future tier list video I make, because I feel like there are certain characters in this game that perform exceptionally well, that are extremely good in multiple different team comps that work well with or without a team. They are very cohesive in their kit, and they are just they stand out so much, and I don't really see them falling off anytime soon or at all in general. So I wanted to make a double S rank tier for that. And in the same situation, I think there are characters that are well above average that are very exceptional, but they aren't quote unquote perfect, so I wouldn't put them in double S rank tier, but I will put them in S rank tier. So this is just going to give some more depth to the tier list so that you guys can better understand my rankings. Now, yeah, getting into it, the first thing I want to adjust and change is these four characters. I think these four characters all do their job like really well. I think Jing Yuan and Bronya have very good offensive buffs. I think the hyper carry teams that they are on are also really good, and just the support that they give their team members are insane as well. We don't have a lot of preservation units, but I think Japard is just really good in his kit. I think the auto revive that he has, I think the fact that he revives with 100% ultimate charge is also insane. He has really good uptime on his ultimate, especially if you run speed and energy regeneration on his rope. And Sealy, like, I think Sealy is easily the best damage dealer in the game. The extra turns that she gives, the speed buff that she gives, the quantum resistant penetration, like she hits insanely hard, and I think she's only going to get better when we get more quantum characters, and I'll explain on that in a little bit. So moving on, the only character I don't think I will be moving to double S tier is Welt. I think Welt is super good, and I love Welt, man. You know, I love Honkai Impact, I love his character, and I love the fact that he's in this game, but I'm gonna keep him in S tier because the thing is, like, I think the only thing that was really keeping him up in S tier in my first video before I introduced double S rank tier was the fact that he's an imaginary character. But now that we are getting future characters like Locha and Yukong, that imaginary typing isn't as unique. And something else that's really important is that, you know, the best thing about his kit, in my opinion, is the imprisonment. So he does have slows and he has vulnerability, but it's the fact that he was able to imprison enemies that was really unique. Now that we are getting other imaginary characters, those other imaginary characters can also imprison enemies. The only difference is that when Welt does it, it's guaranteed off of his ultimate, and he doesn't have to actually break the enemy's toughness. So I think that's really important. So I don't think he's double S ranked here, but he is, in my opinion, a nice solid S tier character. So I'm going to put him at the top of S tier. Now, some other characters I wanted to move up, obviously, are Yexing and Clara. I think Yexing still has strong offensive capabilities, and Clara, I think, a lot more usage in this update, because with the introduction to Silverwolf, a lot of people are using Sealy, Silverwolf, Clara, and Natasha. And I think this is actually really good because Clara is honestly really insane, not just for damage, but for sustainability as well, too, because she has damage mitigation. So I'm going to put her in S tier. I also want to move Natasha up as well too, because a lot of people are running Natasha and Clara with Silverwolf and Sealy, and because I'm moving Natasha up, I am going to move Bailu up as well too, because the same people doing a physical quantum team are running a lightning quantum team with Silverwolf, Sealy, Ting Yun, and Bailu. So both of these healers have gotten a lot more usage and they are phenomenal. So I'm perfectly happy with their placement. The next character I actually want to move up is Himiko. So with Silverwolf being introduced into the game, she can implant a weakness on an enemy based off of an ally's typing. And this is really good because she has an easy time breaking the enemy's toughness, and she also makes allies break the enemy's toughness a lot easier. So she can implant fire weakness so Himiko can get more consistent follow-up attacks. So overall, I think Himiko works a lot better on certain team comps now with Silverwolf, and I think she just deserves the A tier. I think she's pretty underrated. Another character I actually want to move up to A tier is Pela. Pela is like I've been saying for a while, like Pela is really good, and a lot of people summoned for Silverwolf and didn't get her, and they were using the free-to-play light cone that we got before the tutorial mission starts, and that works really well on Pela. It gives her effect hit rate, and it gives her even more energy now for her ultimate. So she already gets 10 energy whenever she pops her ultimate, and now with the light cone she gets even more. So she has better uptime with her ultimate, and her being able to shred the enemy's defense and dispel buffs I think is really important. So I'm going to put her in A tier. And then I think I'm going to move one more character to A tier. I'm kind of contemplating if I want to move March up, because March is really good, and I feel like a lot of people have been using her because not everyone has Japard, and a lot of people are using March with Clara because Clara and March work really well together. So I'm actually going to move March up to A tier because she is a phenomenal character. And something else that I do want to mention, so this is a different tier list from the one I was using in my first video, so it doesn't have the alternate Trailblaze art. So I'm using the physical, I'm using the male character to represent the physical path, and then I'm using the female Trailblazer to represent the preservation fire path. So if there's any confusion with that, that's why, like, they're in two different tiers. But yeah, getting into the new characters now, I'm not going to put Locha or Yukong in this tier list because they haven't been out yet at the time of this uploading, and I also want to wait till 1.2 when Kafka and Blade come out and Luca come out, because once 1.2 comes around, we'll have more time with Locha, we'll have more time with Yukong, and more people will have a better grasp of them. So I want to give it some time before I add them, even though they are dropping in a couple weeks. So the only 5-star characters we are adding is Jing Yuan and Silverwolf. So getting into it, I'm going to put Jing Yuan in double S tier. But the thing is, I'm putting him at bottom of double S tier, borderlining top of S tier. And the reason why I say that is because even though Jing Yuan is a amazing erudition character, he definitely outperforms Himiko in every aspect. The problem with Jing Yuan is that he is very reliant on his lightning lord. So the first issue that I have is the fact that, one, he has a very expensive ultimate. It's 130 energy, so most likely it's going to take you like 4 turns to get his ultimate. Another thing I would like to mention is that because his ultimate is so expensive, it means that he is reliant on Ting Yun. Him and Ting Yun are basically best friends, and the damage buff that Ting Yun gives and the 50 energy that she gives as well too, it kind of makes the most sense to run them together. Like if you're using Jing Yuan, you're kind of forced to use Ting Yun, and you know, obviously there are going to be other support characters in the future, but currently, as of for right now, Ting Yun is probably his best support. You can definitely do a hyper carry team with Ting Yun and Bronya, but it's just the fact that Ting Yun supplies so much energy to Jing Yuan, so that way he can get his ultimate a lot faster. The other issue I have with Jing Yuan is the fact that most of his damage does come from break effect. So if the enemy doesn't have a lightning weakness, he's still going to do a lot of damage with his skill and with his ultimate, and even with his lightning lord. But him breaking the enemy's toughness is very important, and I think that's why I still want to consider him in double S ranked here, because Silverwolf can implant a weakness. So if anything, you can implant a lightning weakness on the enemy, and Jing Yuan can still do that lightning break. So it's not the worst. But the final issue that I have with him is the fact that a lot of his damage is reliant on that Lightning Lord. Not just with how many stacks you have on the Lightning Lord, but it's the fact that if Jing Yuan is frozen, if he is imprisoned, if he is stunned, or if he is that one debuff that Cocolia applies to enemies, the entanglement where you can't use your ultimate, that is very important, because the moment that Jing Yuan cannot move, his Lightning Lord will not attack. And that is a lot of damage fall off that you are getting, because even though his skill and his ultimate do a lot of damage, you are looking for that Lightning Lord passive to proc. Because the thing is, like, his Lightning Lord is really slow, and you're kind of waiting a while for that Lightning Lord to actually move up in the turn. And you can't use someone like Bronya to accelerate it. So it's like, if he can't attack that turn, you're missing out on a lot of damage, and you have to wait another turn for that Lightning Lord. So he's still very, very good, and I still really like his character. But in my opinion, the moment that we get another erudition character that does his job better, or that can outperform him utility-wise, I think he's going to probably drop to the top of S tier. But as of right now, I would probably put him at the bottom of double S tier. He is still a great character, and he still performs really well. It's just that you need to be careful when you're using him. And then yeah, the final character that I do want to talk about, obviously, is the girl of the hour. You know, it's Silverwolf, and I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect to like Silverwolf this much. Actually, no, I kind of did. Like, Silverwolf is a Bronya variant, so I was gonna like her regardless, but I didn't expect her to be as impactful as she is. And I'm gonna be honest, I think she is the second best character in the game, without a doubt. And it's very arguable. If you were to argue and say that Bronya or Japard are better, I would have no problem with that. But personally, I think Silverwolf has so much influence in this game that it's not even funny. Silverwolf makes it so that you can run whatever team you want, and it will not matter, because she can implant that ally's weakness on the enemy. Whether they're not weak to Quantum, or like I said with Jing Yuan, they're not weak to Lightning, you can implant that weakness. Because you can throw her on any team and make whatever enemy take damage from your ally's weakness, it also helps you when it comes to reserving resources. So it's less characters that you need to build, less resources that you are using, and it's just a lot of time that you are saving as well. Another thing that it's like, her debuffs are way too oppressive. You know, the 3 bugs that she gives, the reduced attack, defense, speed, the massive defense shred on her ultimate. The free-to-play Lycoon that they gave us is super accessible and really good for her, because, you know, she's able to get her ultimate every 3 turns consistently, while also having 100% uptime, because her debuffs last for 3-4 turns. She's able to hit extremely hard if you have Eidolons on her, and even decently hard in general if you have a Quantum Orb on her. The fact that she is able to kind of fit on any team comp, so whether you're running a Quantum Physical team, a Quantum Lightning team, or even if you just need Silverwolf to implant a weakness in general on any team, she is insane. You know, I think she just has so much influence on the game, and that's why I don't put well in double S tier, because like, Silverwolf is like the epitome of a true debuffing character, like a true nihility character. So that's I would probably say she's like the second or third best unit in the game. Like, if she's not second, she's easily top 3, like, without a doubt. I don't know who would be in that second or third slot, but like, Silverwolf is either second or third. Like, it's insane. Like, she's a phenomenal character. But yeah, you know, I mean, I would probably say that's it. I'm kind of happy with this tier list. I don't think I want to make any adjustments on it for now. I think all of these characters are in a pretty good spot. I did see gameplay. I seen the 1.2 closed beta gameplay. Like, I've seen Sampo. I know a lot of people are very excited about Kafka, and I know everyone's already theory crafting Kafka and Sampo, but I'm gonna give it a bit before I even decide to bring this man like any higher. But as of right now, I'm pretty happy with how this tier list looks. Once we get into 1.2 and we've had time with Blade and Kafka, once we've had like a couple weeks with Locha and Yukong, we're gonna add them to the tier list, and I'm pretty sure Luca is also coming as a second character, second 4-star on Kafka's banner. I'm pretty sure. I think he's gonna be on Kafka's banner. So yeah, like, I will definitely add those 4 characters or those 5 characters, I mean. So yeah, I'm just gonna give it some time, let people play with Locha, let people play with Yukong, and then once 1.2 drops, then I'll add them into the tier list. And then same thing for like Blade, Kafka, and Luca. I'm gonna give them time as well too. But as for right now, I'm pretty happy with this tier list. I definitely see this tier list being updated relatively soon when 1.2 drops. But for now, I don't really think I have an issue with anyone else. I'm kind of contemplating moving up Asta, but no, I think this is fine. You know, if you guys are happy with this tier list, let me know in the comments section. If there's anything you think I should change as well, let me know in the comments section. I love interacting with you guys. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next. Peace.